Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now this is going to be a very brief video on how to use Hercules. I have had a lot of requests for this video because I assume a lot of people have acquired Hercules recently due to him being in a basic arena. So a lot of people got him as a 5-star or got him from Cavs, and a ton of people wanted to just a brief video how to use him. And with this, I also figured it might be my return to actually doing kind of champion reviews and champion guides, because I haven't been doing those for a while now. Right, so with Hercules, I'm not going to read all of the abilities of him. I'm sure every single person watching this video is perfectly capable of reading on their own. What you need to know is that his awakened ability is extremely important. However, it pretty much does not come into play until you hit 0 HP. It's kind of like with Corvus, where you can do a ton of amazing things unawakened, but awakened ability kind of unlocks a completely new dimension to the character, and obviously he becomes significantly more versatile if he is awakened. However, even unawakened, he is already, in my personal opinion, very much so worth the rank up. Right, the key mechanics about Hercules are his feats of strength and his persistent charges. Feats of strength are gained whenever you connect a heavy attack on an opponent that is not stunned, intercept, or get knocked down. That knockdown is something that doesn't come into play too often, because your goal is, not to get hit, and the only way to get knocked down is by getting hit in the face. So for most part, you will be either dropping heavy attacks or intercepting to build up Hercules. Additionally, every time you do one of these feats of strength in the fight, you gain a persistent charge the very first time you do it. The second one, it doesn't count anymore. So in an average fight, you will be gaining 2 persistent charges, one for knocking the opponent down with a heavy and another one for intercepting. Each feat of strength gives you armor penetration rating, which is, cool, but the big thing is that it also gives you a burst of physical damage equal to whatever damage you do. You can get up to 12 of those, and that means that for every 1000 damage that you deal to opponent, for instance, you will be dealing 1200 of burst of physical damage, effectively doubling your damage output. And that is kind of it, really. What you need to know, every time you do one of these feats of strength, you also gain like a 1000 attack rating boost plus increased buff duration. So that is kind of helpful, but it's not really all that necessary. And as long as you do have feats of strength, you are basically stun immune. As far as his special attacks goes, his level 1 gives you precision buff and lets you crit a ton, and also gives you true sense buff, bypassing miss or auto block. And his special 2 basically gives you cruelty, increasing your crit damage, and also stuns the opponent. Does more damage if opponent has armor buffs. That's kind of it. You do want to intercept with Hercules, with special attacks giving you more bonuses and more benefits. Once again, something's a bit off here. Hopefully this is going to look a tiny bit better. Don't know why that happened. So here is going to be a bit of a gameplay example. First thing is, there's a thing with Hercules where if you practice, you want to connect your heavy attack just after the parry stun expires in order to gain 2 feats of strength of a single heavy attack. Now, it is not a must. It's kind of like a lavish thing. If you do not feel comfortable doing it, don't. It's not the biggest thing. It just can help you rank up your Hercules a bit faster. But at any case, you can just parry heavy and it will do the same thing for most part. You can see here that I landed intercept. So since I knocked the Winter Soldier down and I did manage to intercept, I gained 2 persistent charges that you can see next to Hercules. But I am keeping, I'm building up more feats of strength in this fight because I'm repeating the same actions. I'm using more heavy attacks, I'm intercepting opponent more times. So you can see that feats of strength counter is going up. Now with this special attack, I did manage to intercept. That means I got 3 precision buffs, and that means I'm going to be critting quite a lot, which is what you always want to ideally do with Hercules special attacks, is to intercept the opponent. And now again, I'm just going to be spamming a few more heavy attacks to build up to 12 charges. At this point, I am at 12 charges. What I want to do is hit Winter Soldier twice, trigger the Infuriate by dashing back after 1 or 2 hits, and then just intercept with level 2, and the fight's pretty much over. The Infuriate mechanic I didn't mention before, but it's basically kind of taunt on steroids, because it doesn't just make them use special attacks more often, it also makes them more aggressive, thus making them much more compliant to your intercepts and more predictable to fight against. It's honestly quite awesome ability, and you trigger it by either hitting opponent with your first medium or your first light attack and dashing back. So you can go medium light, dash back, and trigger the Infuriate. And now next fight we're going to be basically doing the same thing. I'm just, you know, getting in a few intercepts, building up my charges. We can see that persistent charges also have gone up to 4 now. I started this fight with 2 and 2 active feats of strength, but I since have knocked down Captain Marvel Classic and I have intercepted her. That means I have 4 persistent charges now. As far as ramp up champions go, Hercules is kind of a ramp up champion, but his ramp up is like one of the easiest and quickest in a game, and he does not have to be ramped up at the very start of the fight. And you can do it within like, I don't know, 20-30 hits. You can achieve full ramp up on Hercules, even if you had 0 persistent charges. Now I'm intercepting with my level 2, and again, the fight is pretty much over. The last trick that I wanted to show you is Hercules Special 3, and that is a safe way how you can get knocked over without taking any damage, and there is also a little bit extra benefit to it. His level 3 basically gives you indestructible buff for a very brief amount of moment. I think it is like 3 seconds. But what you want to do is make sure that the opponent will reach his 3 bars of power after your special 3. And if that happens, you also gain a power gain buff. And you can have like kind of level 3 reliant rotation. You can go from basically using your special 3 to eating opponent's special 3 and then getting up to your level 3 and recycling that over and over again. But you can also use that just to gain that extra persistent charge in the first fight if you want to ramp up your Hercules quicker, because we can see that in this fight I have gained 3 persistent charges because I did end up getting knocked down. But that's about it. That is how you use Hercules. There's not much more to it. I don't want to stretch this video out. If you do have any questions, then do ask in comment section. But I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the